Okay guys, we are back with another run through of the various presets that are available in Bias FX 2, and today we are starting on blues. It's the second category available in Bias FX 2 Professional. There are a number of presets that are made available to you when you have the Professional Edition. This is in comparison to the only Standard Edition, and of course they have an Elite Edition as well. So today we're just going to be running through the presets available in Pro, which in my eyes is the best bang for your buck. You get quite a lot of amps and effects, and the presets give you plenty to work with. So just like last time, I'm going to be running through every preset with some of the optional effects that are already in each preset, sometimes disabled, sometimes already pre-enabled, just so we can see the wide range of sounds available. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet this time around, seeing as I waffled on quite a fair bit in the first video. If you're curious about the pop category, check out the previous one. If you're curious about the heavier stuff, then look forward to the next videos. So we're just gonna jump right into it. This is 69 Vibe, the first preset in the blues category. As you heard in the opening riff that I was playing, that little lick, very biting. It's got a lot of aggression to it. It's got a very high level of gain. It's got a fuzz face on it. Hold on, let me just quickly pop that open. There we go. Got our vintage fuzz clone, our overdriven JM45 and the Celestian V30s. Got an SM57 right in the center. We can pull this off center so we can get more of that. You can hear that it's less bright, and if we get it right to the edge of the cone, right to the edge of the speaker, right, quite a nice range of sound. So if I bring that right back to the center, that should brighten up the tone back to that original aggression. Awesome. There's a delay on here, which would evidently be great for solos. So if I'm doing that, and it has that really kind of awesome slap echo sound that was so typical of that late 60s, early 70s sound. So let's just move right on. All right, between us, what have we got? We have a boost pedal, a bypassed drive pedal, a chorus jazz combo, looks like a Fender type, with a clean SM57 right in the center of the cab again. Not really sure which cab this is meant to be. We'll find out what it is later on. And we have a studio reverb on the end of all of that, so we'll see what this sounds like. Probably going to be quite clean as it looks. It's chorusy. Gorgeous. It's a really nice warm tone. That reverb is just doing wonders for the sound. Even if I take it right off, it'll remain quite clean. And putting it back in. Awesome sound. The drive is likely just going to be there to dirt up the sound a little bit. It's probably not going to be too aggressive. Yeah, gorgeous. So if you're going to do, like, you know, really nice soulful kind of stuff. Of course, you could use it for any other purpose, but this is what's instantly coming to my mind when I hear this preset. Absolutely love the sound. Let's move on. Dancing in a Room, I'm guessing that's a John Mayer reference. Let's have a look. If I play the original riff, how's it go? It's not a complete facsimile, but I'm really okay with it. The drive pedal that's been bypassed in there is probably going to get me closer to that really nice gained up sound for that top lead sound. And you can see how the TS808 is, or the clone thereof, is gaining up the sound really quite nicely. It's dirty, it's a little bit noisy, but that's exactly what you'd expect. I think a distortion pedal or an overdrive pedal that doesn't bring some of those characteristics loses the very sound that we're often looking for. So, I reckon this is a really nice, clean, but at the same time, just slightly dirtied up sound. The reverb is doing really nice wonders for the tone. And let's bring it up. Much like singers, you'd be surprised just how much reverb does for the general vibe of a guitar tone. Oh, here we go. We've got a Mutron. Look, let's have a look. We have an up, which means that the envelope's going to be moving upward. We have based on peak, and the depth is not too wide. So I'm guessing this is going to sound a bit like a wah. Yeah, it does sound a bit like a wah. Awesome. Heavily affected, and even if I take that tone off now, still quite clean, still got a bit of a drive there, and compression, which is helping tighten up that sound, double clean with Celestion T75s, slightly off-center, and so on and so forth. Got another digital reverb there. Awesome, moving on, Easy Blues. Okay, for Easy Blues, I'm not really sure what this is going to be. Let's see, gate boost, gate's actually bypassed. I've got a tweed, going to another tweed, delay, and reverb. That looks pretty standard to me. I'm just going to play a standard progression on this one. Nice, and it cleans up really, really nicely. The sound is nice and gainy at the onset, but then it just gently fades out. If I even engage the gate, there goes all the noise, and you can still sustain, hopefully, the same kind of energy. Yeah, awesome. It's a good workaround. Okay, moving on into first compression. Gate, comp, amp, delay. Sounds pretty standard, and there's also a drive and a reverb bypassed, indubitably for solo work. So let's just grab a couple of chord progressions. Awesome, nice and slightly dirty on the onset. If I chuck in that drive, chuck in that reverb, we have ourselves I'm using a lot of the same licks just so that later on when you guys click back through other solo sounds, you guys can actually hear comparable tones as well. So, that sounded pretty great. Let's just move on. Funk you up. Well, obviously I'm going to have to do a bit of that waka waka. Let's have a look at what we've got. We have comp, double amp going into EQ reverb, double cab, mixed through, no delay, it's just simply panned into a stereo chorus. Yeah, really happy with that. Just dirty enough for me to get the most out of my guitar tone, and not so dirty that it just turns into hash. I'm sure later on when we're playing through the rock and metal presets, we'll find a lot of that kind of stuff, but for now, it's still basically in that 40-60, you know, still clean, but dirty enough. Funny moves, I'm seeing another Mutron in there. We have ourselves a bypassed mod, maybe a flanger, could be an ensemble, who knows, we'll find out. Intensity and speed to me usually tells me either chorus or flanger. And reverb, which is bypassed as well. So let's have a look. What have we got here? Woof! Weird. Awesome. Awesome. Very thin of sound, but I'm not really complaining. It's got quite a lot of vibe to it. Let's have a look at what this effect does, plus the reverb. Yeah, there's our flanger. Very slow, but very wide. Gives you a lot of range to do stuff. I got blues. Gate, drive, amp, delay, and reverb. Really gorgeous tone. You can see it sings. It absolutely just pops out of there, which is awesome. Just funny. Gate, comp, drive, and then amp. Sounds pretty standard to me. This is reminiscent of a lot of other amp sims, actually. I think this is the tone that, to me, encapsulates a lot of what I hear in older or maybe less complex amp sims. It's just a simple tone, lightly overdriven. It's a blackface, which is basically a Fender Bassman, and a greenback 25, so 25-inch greenbacks Celestion speakers. It's using an MD421, which is a Sennheiser microphone, and it's slightly off-center. And yeah, it just, you know, it's kind of dirty, kind of compressed. It's great for just general purpose playing. So. Awesome. Just does its job. Kashmir? Okay, well then I have to play the riff. I mean, please do not copyright strike me, Led Zepp. I have much respect for your careers, but now I have to do the thing because the preset is called Kashmir. It's in D usually, so... Why detune your guitar when you can just play the 7th string, right? Because everyone just has 7 and 8 string guitars lying around. Awesome. It's a British orange amp, which is, you know, orange. And the highway which is probably a high watt, going through our flanger, and the appropriate cabs run through a mixer, reverb on the end, drive on the beginning. Pretty standard, awesome sound. No destination. Okay, this looks a bit different. What have we got here? Compression, standard orange in the front as well, a pushed tweed, which I'm guessing is a Vox or some kind of tweed amp, and then Celestion V30s very far off the cone. Meanwhile, the orange is right in the center of the cone, so I'm expecting something a bit dirtier on this end, and something a bit warmer on this end, which is pretty cool. And then we've got a mixer. Now let's see, no volume differences, but they are hard panned. And then we've got a standard delay, which is, wow, it's really far back. And the blend is about 50-50, which means we should be expecting something quite ambient. And a reverb. It is not bypassed, it's just very dark. All right, what have we got here? So this will be interesting. Let's just play a standard A major chord. Woo! Yeah, that's awesome. That's very cool. You know what? This reminds me of the Electro-Harmonix organ or just general synthesis pedals. They're pretty unique, but this has gotten really, really close to that kind of sound, and I certainly don't mind it. With just a simple delay pedal, it's gone and made this really huge, expansive sound. I'm going to be playing around with that particular pedal, or at least with similar settings sooner or later. This is exactly what I think these presets are for. They may not necessarily be blues. A lot of the sounds that we've experienced so far may not necessarily be in the typical definition of blues. And this, to me, doesn't really remind me of any blues track I've heard. By all means, please chuck it in the comments if you reckon you know what song it's referencing. But I reckon these presets are here to inspire. They are there to get you to try out different sounds, to get you experiencing the range of versatility that this plugin has. It's not just about default sounds. It's not about one tone to rule them all. They're the kinds of stuff that makes records really unique instead of just being, just another overdriven, just another heavily distorted or clean tone. Room 808, we're getting really close to the end, guys. Gate drive, 69 duo verb. That sounds to be like a Fender twin reverb. A reverb black duo. Yeah, seems pretty standard to me. We're probably just expecting sounds pretty standard to me. That's pretty great. Does its job. Let's see. Stevie Blues. Oh, that's got to be Stevie Ray Vaughan. I probably butchered that really hard, but you know what? I reckon it sounds awesome. It's a really, really crunchy, but still quite a clean tone. It is exactly synonymous with Stevie Ray Vaughan's high gain and yet still crystal clear sound. What have we got here? We have a fuzz face that's bypass. We've got a pitch filter, another drive. Good God, it's given us a full range of stuff. Let's just do these one by one. We have a fuzz face. Awesome, really, really awesome for that kind of stuff. We've got a pitch filter. Now, I reckon if we had a kind of wah controller, we might be able to do this live, but right now we've got our mouse controlling this, so... Awesome wah. And we've got another double drive here. Awesome, awesome. It's just such a wide range of tones there. And we're just gonna move on. We've still got the fuzz, which I'm guessing is still got the blues, but with a fuzz pedal. I wouldn't recommend chucking chords on that tone, but even if I pull the fuzz off, it's still a respectable clean tone, but you can clearly see that it's designed for just really soulful lead melodic playing. The last preset available in Bias FX 2 Professional Edition is, or at least the blues category, is Tremolo Flint, or Tremo Flint. Am I missing something here? I think I've missed a lot of references because these are named way too specifically for just a preset to be called as such. So if you guys know what the references are, let me know. In the meantime, we have a gate drive splitter double amp into a mixer EQ mod. What's our mod? Depth and speed. So I'm guessing it's some kind of chorus or flanger. And we've got a reverb on the end. Oh, it's a tremolo! Nice. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So there you have it. That's the blues category of Bias FX 2 Professional Edition. We haven't gone through every single tone. We haven't disabled and re-enabled everything in every preset, but this just gives you an overview of the wide range of stuff that's available. Of course, I'm only playing what stuff occurs to me on the spot. This is a live reaction. So if there's anything that's occurring to you guys for the sound, I reckon you guys could pull it off. It's absolutely versatile. This is recorded straight from the desk, so there's no effects, there's nothing special going on. What you guys are hearing is the tone itself, and we have quite a lot to go through in terms of rock, metal, and insane. Now, in the alternative, bass, and acoustic presets, there's not as much. Oh, I suppose alternative's got a fair bit, but in the bass and acoustic banks, there really isn't that much. So we could flesh out that kind of stuff ourselves. So look forward to these 4 categories that are going to be available in the next few videos. And of course, at the end of all of this, I'm going to be showing you guys a good line of thinking and methodology for crafting your own presets and essentially making your own master tone. Thinking about the way that the guitar and all the various effects work with and against it, sometimes to its favor, sometimes to its detriment, but fundamentally, you're aiming to create the tone that you hear in your head. And so thanks for joining, and I look forward to catching you guys on the next one.